Aren't you tired of this soy-based entertainment? Well, let the world know by ordering your Soylo, a Soy Wars Story t-shirt, or Tico, a Soy Wars Story t-shirt. Both come in all kinds of sizes from small to 5XL. We're sure we can fit you. And thank you very much for your support of the channel. The link is below in the description. Man, it's exciting. Suddenly I'm a t-shirt merchant as well. Humble Frog, ink, and t-shirt merchant. Thanks, guys. Well, Third Aaron Reich, I've got good news and I've got bad news. The good news is that your tomato meter, it went up by 2 points. The bad news is that nearly 1/3 of the population of planet Earth has joined our boycott. Hey, thank you everyone. Thanks very much. So good morning. This is Comic Artist Pro Secrets. My name is Ethan Van Sciver. I am a comic book artist. I have been for 25 years. And I'm also a great big Star Wars fan, which is why you joined me here to discuss what in the world is going on with Star Wars these days. Why can't I have a YouTube channel, a Star Wars YouTube channel in 1980, and I would just talk to you guys with wonderment about Yoda? Yeah, about the AT-ATs. I'm sorry, it's pronounced AT-AT. Those of you millennials who think it's AT-AT, it's AT-AT. Why? Instead I'm stuck here in current year discussing Disney. By the way, Disney, unlimited resources, unlimited creative talent potential. There is no excuse for this. Disney's Solo, a Star Wars story, a movie about the most popular, I would venture to say, character in the entire franchise. And look at this. What is this? 72%? This is an aggregate score of all of the reviews who have caught early screenings of the movie. They're allowed to be honest now. They weren't allowed to be honest for quite a few days. Now they're allowed to open up and basically open fire on this ridiculous movie. 72%. What would happen? What would happen if you had a 72% in any class at school? Your teacher would call home and say, yeah, I'm most displeased with your student's apparent lack of progress. And you would have to say with your mom, we shall double our efforts. And that's when Darth Vader would say, I hope so. The Emperor is not as forgiving as I am. That was the best line from Return of the Jedi, and good advice. When somebody tells you that you're effing up and you're not getting it done, you say, I'm going to double my efforts. Not, I'm going to double down on failure, which is what SJWs do, which is why we find ourselves here. They're not listening to you. They're just angry at your response. Now, we've got all these other wonderful, I don't want to pick fights with anyone, but we've got all these other wonderful Star Wars channels on YouTube, and they're condemning people, like our friend Gabriel, who has chosen to boycott this movie. Oh, yeah, look at this guy. He's boycotting the movie. Let's point out this one guy who's boycotting the movie. Oh, look at this. Turns out that nearly 1/3 of planet Earth are joining Gabriel right now. 31% of planet Earth are choosing to stay home. So go ahead and criticize Gabriel, and Gabriel can point to his 2,362,200,000 friends who will not be seeing Soylo, a Soy Wars Soyri, on May 25th. Yeah. That's not how they're going to choose to celebrate Memorial Day. Instead, they're going to remember our soldiers who were lost. And maybe they'll also permit themselves one moment of thought and care, maybe a single tear for Star Wars, which we also lost, I don't know, sometime in 2015. Here's what we have now. We've got nothing but angst. The tomato meter score is embarrassing. This is terrible. This is a Star Wars film. This should be a layup. Who do I blame here? Who do I blame in this lineup? Ron Howard? Well, Ron Howard just showed up. They said, hey, Ron, we've got these two directors that have basically made a monkey show out of our movie. We've given them a lot of money. They've completed 80% of a monkey show. Can you come over here and just finish it off? I mean, we'll pay you a lot of money to make a mediocre product. Ron Howard, can do. He comes over and he refilms. Apparently he reshoots practically the whole bloody movie. God only knows how much over budget this film is. It's going to be crazy. He did turn it in on time. He did turn it in on time. That was good of him. We've got third Alden Ehrenreich. Third Ehrenreich right over here. This gentleman, handsome, isn't he? I don't know how he got this part. I don't know why they thought this chunk could carry a movie. Him carrying a movie is like an ant carrying a Chevrolet. He can't do it. He cannot be Han Solo. I'm sorry, but you've got one of the most charismatic actors in history. My generation's Humphrey Bogart, Harrison Ford, somebody who will live in cinema history and fame and honor for generations. And then you find this dude at a party and you say, hey, you want to play Han Solo? He's like, yeah, I guess. All right, good. Very good. So that's problem number 2, I guess. I have nothing against Emilia Clarke as Queera. Dong Lover, right over here, as Lando Calrissian. Now, who would have thought? Who would have thought that this gentleman, Lando Calrissian, playing Lando Calrissian, would basically steal the movie? And while he was stealing the movie, social justice warriors would come in and the garbage Star Wars press, garbage tier media, and start suggesting that Lando Calrissian is some kind of pansexual who wants to bang his robots. And that's exactly what's going on. This character here, Phoebe Waller, whatever her name is, playing L337, plays a female robot who is completely self-actualized, the first feminist droid she built herself. How does that happen? How does a droid build herself? No, some man put most of you together at the very least. And then, I mean, you had to, maybe a rib cage, maybe the torso, at least one arm, right? Probably 2 arms to steady yourself. I mean, you can't build yourself without that. Somebody had to get you started. So I'm sorry you didn't do it all by yourself. Apparently these two, there's sexual tension between this man and this robot. Yeah. And then they're going to bring in C3 some PO and R2 STD2. I mean, you know, what exactly is going on in Star Wars right now? Disney, why are you turning Star Wars into adult erotica? Why? You don't need to do that. You really don't need to do that. It's weird. And then to make it about Donald Glover being some kind of weird guy who will stick it anywhere. That's not great. That's just not great. That's not a good theme for the movie. So as a result of this news, what do we got here? 3 in a row. A.A. Dowd, AV Club, struck me as intellectual property unconvincingly arranged in the shape of a movie. Now, I've always said that SJWs are basically, scattered, annoying identity politics unconvincingly arranged in the shape of a person. And that is indeed who was making this film and making choices about this film to scare normal people away. From Village Voice, Alan Scherstuhl. Yeah. Solo, like the Falcon and Empire, tends to sputter just when it should leap into hyperdrive. That's encouraging. That's exciting because most of the people said, hey, the movie's a piece of garbage, but the action's good. No, the Village Voice says it's not. Village Voice was not excited by this, and it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much to get the Village Voice excited. From the Seattle Times? What are you kidding me? Soren Anderson. It's flawed central premise. Oh, I'm sorry. It's flawed central performance. Oh, who's that? Who's that central performance? Third Ehrenreich here. Flawed. Ultimately makes Solo a distinct disappointment. Alden? Yeah. Soren is saying that you're disappointing. Yeah. Alright, so that's bad news. This is all bad news all around. Now, we've got audience reviews, and audience reviews are where it counts. I mean, the critic reviews are one thing. The critics are basically gonna say what they want to say in order to kind of stay in Disney's good graces. Some of them, however, cannot lie about this film. I mean, this is they're being very gentle here. They're being very gentle with their reviews. Very gentle. They don't want to hurt any feelings. You know, and they do want to come to the Disney parties. They do want to be able to see these movies 3 months in advance. Why can't I see these movies 3 months in advance? I would like to. It would give me Disney, if you'll just give me 3 months in advance to see these movies, I can roast them so much better. Just let me see them. Let me see them like Soren Anderson from Seattle Times got to see it. Send me a screener copy. I won't totally upload it to my YouTube. Audience review. I'm not wasting my money on Solo when there are so many other good sci-fi movies out. Now look, Don't bust this dude's balls saying that Star Wars isn't sci-fi. I've heard that argument from you guys a million times. It is classified as sci-fi, even though it is not strictly sci-fi. That is where it is classified in Blockbuster doesn't. I'm showing my age. Blockbuster doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, there are other good sci-fi movies out. Go see Deadpool 2, right? What else is out? What else is out? Go find something. Go rent it. Go make a movie. You don't need to see this. We've got this guy saying, first Star Wars, I won't see at the cinema. I won't support a company who calls me a racist. Who called you a racist? Who would call... Oh, Pablo Hidalgo. Interesting. Yeah. Looks disappointing. It's a shame. That is awful. Look at this. I don't want to see how they destroy another Star Wars character. Lando Calrissian. Yeah, that is who this refers to, and it is a shame. It is a terrible shame, and this guy's going to pass. He's not going to go. He's going to join the 2,362,200,000 people all over the world who stay home, who decide to stay home and not buy a ticket to Han Solo. And by the way, that doesn't necessarily mean that the other 2/3 of the population of planet Earth is going. Right now, reviews are at a 72% aggregate. That basically suggests that another at least 1/3 that goes, more than a quarter, almost a third of people that go are going to be crushingly disappointed, or they're going to read the reviews and decide not to go anyway, because only 72% of reviewers are saying it's okay. No, it's fun. It's a fun popcorn flick. A fun popcorn flick? It's Star Wars. It's Star Wars. These movies are meant to be watched over and over and over again for decades. Fun popcorn flicks aren't watched over and over again for decades. They're forgotten. They're tossed aside. Once they are out of the theaters, once they are off their first run on cable, they are forgotten. Yeah, they have a sell-by date, and then they kind of turn green and moldy, and nobody cares anymore. And then before you know it, you're pawing through a big bin at Walmart, and buried about 3 feet down, you find a Blu-ray, a busted old Blu-ray of Solo, a Star Wars story. And you look at it, and it has a yellow sticker plastered over the other sticker, the old price tag that says $2. And you look at it, and you think about it, and then you put it right back down again. And that is the destiny of this film, and it is the destiny of every Star Wars film that Disney puts out until they wise up. Until they wise up and knock it off. Lifelong fan, just not pleased with the current direction of the franchise and its leadership. So I will not be seeing this movie at the theaters. That is absolutely brilliant. It's succinct. It's polite. This person represents all of us. And what great words. Lifelong fan. Lifelong fan. Me too. I saw Star Wars in 1977. I was 3 years old, and it has never left my heart. I have thought about lightsabers. I've thought about Darth Vader. I've thought about Luke Skywalker ever since, and wanting to be Luke Skywalker, because we both had sandy blonde hair. I think he still does. I don't really, not so much anymore. But anyway, I've wanted to be Luke Skywalker my whole life, and I'm not pleased with the current direction of the franchise and its leadership. So I will not be seeing this movie at the theaters. And those of you Star Wars websites that want to criticize the kind, honest, and sincere declarative statement that 1/3, the 2,362,200,000 Earthlings are saying about this movie, look in the mirror. Look in the mirror and see if you recognize a decent human being anymore. See if you recognize your own reflection. Find it in your heart to understand how important Star Wars was to these fans until it broke their hearts. Until it broke their hearts. And until it blackened your soul. Thanks, everyone. See you again later. You deserve a great big thank you this morning. Thank you to everyone who has helped this channel to grow, and it is growing at an astronomical rate. We are way past 40,000 subscribers now, and it shows no sign of stopping. So thank you to everyone who likes these videos, who subscribes and hits the bell for notifications. Check and see if you're still subscribed. They randomly unsubscribe people here, and it's ridiculous. I want to thank everyone who donates to the Patreon every month. Thank you so much for those pledges. Thank you to everyone who gives to the super chats during my live streams. All of this just makes this content easier to upload on a daily and frequent basis. I just want to thank all of you for all of your support. Thank you so much.